Sunday midday update as the storm gets underway here in New England. Meteorologist Matt Noyes, 1 degree outside, Weather Network. Remember, you can track the radar, the hourly forecast, and these videos as we issue them through our weather app. That is going to be the 1 degree outside app on the App Store and Google Play. It is free. It is 5 stars. We will live stream when we get into the heart of the storm. So far, everything's taking a plan. We're in the beginning phases of what's going to be a long duration event. We'll be with you live stream probably after the Patriots game because we figure we're not going to compete for Patriots viewership over the course of the afternoon. But you'll see these videos right here as well. So notice we've got 90% now or more of solutions putting out 18 inches of snow or greater in the area in red. It's the real deal, right? It's on. Danielle showed this to you earlier. Farther north that you go, the more you get kind of fluff. The farther south you go, it's starting fluffy, but it'll go over to a more moderate consistency snow as we get toward 10 and 11 o'clock this evening. Even mixes when you get onto the Cape and the islands. Snow quickly ramping up, the rates peaking during the late afternoon and into the early evening at 2 to 4 inches per hour. There will be a little thunder snow, we think, mixed in with that as well. Best chance of that 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Near blizzard conditions getting into this evening. We'll look at that in just a moment. Isolated power outages that may pop up just because of the snow load that may bring down a limb onto a line. And then it looks like tomorrow morning, maybe just a little bit of coastal splash over. It's very, very minor when you get along the coastline for tomorrow morning's high tide between 4 and 5 at the south shore of Massachusetts in particular. Water vapor imagery, the white, the green, showing a good plume of moisture that started out of the Pacific. Actually, the moisture kind of plume began off California originally. Now you've got moisture input from the Gulf, and of course, at the low levels, you're going to get it off the Atlantic Ocean as well. So the result, the big swath of blue indicating the snow that's expanding across the area right now. New coastal low pressure developing along the coast. I had mentioned in our pre-storm live stream for our members, this is a textbook New England snowstorm setup. You got high pressure centered over northern Maine. Air tends to flow from high to low pressure, so you're feeding that cold air in. This is exactly what you want if you want to keep cold air locked in, and that is what we're going to do. In fact, I'll show you in a minute. This is one of the coldest snowstorms I can remember in recent memory. Atlanta's seeing some problems at the airport. Now we're starting to see problems at Chicago. Cincinnati's getting hit hard with snow as well, so more of the problems will continue to pop up there. For us, of course, over the last 6 hours, we filled the snow into southern and central portions of New England. Yep, the timestamp on here shows you that depending on when you're watching this, it may be a little bit dated now, and that's why I say we'll keep doing the updates. I want you to keep checking for the updates. A little bit of kind of filaments of ocean enhancement going on just off the coast. That'll be kind of interesting because we are going to get a coastal front that'll set up out of this thing with an easterly and east-northeasterly wind developing. So when you get just on the cold side of that, that's going to boost your snow totals. Notice visibility is down to a quarter or a half mile for almost all of southern New England. Once you start getting visibility down around a quarter mile, generally you're talking about inch per hour snow. So that has been unfolding for a lot of us here. The farther north you go, we're kind of on the northern edge of it, but it will be expanding through central and northern New England in the hours to come. Here's what I mean about how cold it is. It's 2 degrees with the snow in Worcester. That's not all. You come down to Chester, Connecticut, it's 9. We're talking about 10 at Taunton, 8 at Boston. I don't remember, and I went back looking. It's going to take some time to figure it out, but I don't remember a storm in recent memory being this cold at the start. 2 in Worcester, that does not happen very often in New England. It's something worth mentioning because obviously it means everything's stuck to the roads right away. There's no treatment that can take care of that. The road temperatures themselves, these are pavement temperatures that are running at 10 to 15 degrees. So you're going to snowy roads almost immediately when this stuff begins. Notice by 4 p.m., leading edge to the light snow coming through Portland already. You're over to that heavy stuff by the afternoon across southern portions of New England. That does expand northward into central New England. As we head to the evening, we think the worst of the snow is going to be from about 2 p.m. to about midnight. Once you start getting past midnight, it still snows, but it's not the same intensity. It's not the 2 to 4 inch per hour snow that'll be coming down. You start peeling back. Between midnight and 2 a.m., you're down to about a half inch to an inch per hour, and then you're generally down to a half inch per hour. And then tomorrow, it looks like you're probably generally a quarter to about a third of an inch per hour over the course of the day, but it's going to come in fits and starts for you. Winds right now are fairly quiet, just starting to pick up on the Cape and the islands, but they become a bigger deal. And this is why we're saying near blizzard conditions for many. Do you actually hit the criteria for blizzard? That would be near zero visibility, along with 35 mile per hour wind gusts or greater frequently for 3 consecutive hours. So Believe it or not, there's a chance we do it at Nantucket and Chatham this evening because you're still blasting snow at that point and the winds are kicking up. There's a smaller chance, but still a chance that we do it when you get to the South Shore. Now, this is from the scientific definition, right? From a public standpoint, when the wind starts blowing this evening into the first part tonight, it's going to look and feel like a blizzard. Travel will be disorienting. You can see the wind, the blowing and drifting of snow that goes on the ridge from basically the southern greens down to the Berkshires and Litchfield Hills is going to be pretty incredible as well. So this is definitely a storm with significant drifts that go on, that blow back over the road, that's disorienting for drivers who are out there, and that's why travel is discouraged across the board for us. In terms of what's coming tomorrow, we'll pick it up from where we left off last time. So right about mid-morning on Monday, you've still got the snow coming down. There may be a little break for a couple of hours around 9 or 10 o'clock when you get into central Massachusetts. It fills back in, but it's never as heavy as it is during the course of this afternoon, evening, and night. And then once that goes by the boards, we really start to clear things out. So the Tuesday, folks have been asking about Tuesday for cleanup and all of that. Fairly quiet. A disturbance comes through with a couple of snow showers. It's not a big deal, but it is cold. Highs in the teens and 20s for the rest of this week. Really no change to the map that you saw from Danielle earlier. We think it's pretty much on target, which is a big 12 to 18 for many. I think you should get a foot when you get down onto the islands. I mean, it's coming down so hard now. The farther north that you go, we're talking about what ends up being 18 to 24. You saw that 90% chance or greater of 18 inches of snow. So there's two areas that you're going to watch for higher amounts. One's going to be right inside of the coastal front because we are going to develop an east-northeast wind. And on the cold side of the front from Norwell and Rockingham through Weymouth, Quincy, and Dedham, this is one area that may be able to hit or exceed 2 feet. The other area is going to be when you get to the north. There's actually a frontal boundary a couple thousand feet above our heads. That will help to focus some of the snow from Dracut and Lowell running up through Lawrence, Haverhill, and then into Rockingham County. And then finally, with some elevation and the eastern slopes of the Berkshires, the wind pushing up against the Berkshires is going to help to enhance things, southern greens as well. Here's again more of that kind of coastal front running into the cold air. So that goes right up the coast of New Hampshire into Maine. Farther north that you go, you can see the amounts begin dropping off a bit, but it's still 12 to 18 in the deep purple. And then you start running out of moisture the farther north you go across particularly central and northern reaches of Maine. But obviously this is a region-wide snowstorm for New England, and that is how we're set up to be. The wind chill as we get into the overnight tonight does drop down below zero for many, single digits in interior southern New England. The coast doesn't feel quite as punishing because of that coastal front, but I can tell you that as we get into the day tomorrow and the wind shifts, everybody's going to feel like the teens at best and single digits by the end of the day. So it is a very cold storm, something to be aware of if you're going to be going out for any reason, right, which hopefully you don't have to. But even tomorrow, as the roads will slowly improve, we're still talking about what's a really cold setup. Meanwhile, if you want to support what we do here, membership.onedegreeoutside.com. Everything that we do, everything we offer is free. And as I mentioned earlier, Danielle and I are going to be keeping you updated over the course of the storm as we do every day, sunshine or storms. Thanks for your support of 1 Degree Outside Weather Network.